Hello, Probers.
Howdy.
Welcome to But It Was Aliens, the extraterrestrial comedy podcast brought to you by possibly two of the least most wanted mibs in history. I am your host this week, the king of the street grannies, the prince with the perfect peach, and the bestest of best friends, Granny Moonwalker. And sitting opposite me as always is the one who would like to shave his beard, but it's become so iconic that he can't, just like Father Christmas. He is the king of the gnomes and the one with the bestest of best friends, Kev in the grey.
Bird. Do you reckon Santa really wants to shave his beard?
I reckon he really wants to.
But he can't, because people start thinking he's a creepy old man if he takes that off and still wants children to sit on his lap.
He hasn't seen that chin for eternity.
Also, I don't want to detract from starting the episode, but I want to see an FBI's 10 least wanted list. That sounds great.
I don't think I've ever looked up the FBI's most wanted list.
I have, on several occasions. Not recently.
Just double checking you weren't on it.
Yes, no, maybe. I don't know. Can you repeat the question? You're another boss of me now.
In today's episode, we're doing something that we do every single time. We're going back into time. It's September, and I believe at the time this episode comes out, I'll be on holiday. But enough of that. It's September, which means it's nearly Greybeard's birthday.
Uh-oh.
But I digress.
Oh, no.
It's September. September 1977.
Yes, it's September, gosh darn it.
To be exact. Our location is the UK. And one evening in September.
Yeah. Goddamn September, all right?
Between 9 and 10 p.m. Mr. and Mrs. Walker, no relation, were driving from Chard to their home in Yeovil with their two children after visiting some family members.
You've been getting busy.
Along the way, they would pass a location known as Windwhistle Hill. Sounds like a Zelda name.
Oh, I was thinking
like a location.
Windwhistle Hill, it's where I took my first pill. Oh, Windwhistle Hill.
I don't know the actual words to that song. You may have noticed.
Sure. As they reached the top of the hill, they could see a power station and a group of pylons. Nothing crazy, really. But there was something else. A strange orange glow amongst the clouds.
Ooh. You've put a picture in the research notes. Do you want me to comment on this?
Can you comment on the strange orange glow within the clouds, please?
There is an orange glow above a hill that looks to me to be
Windwhistle Hill.
Now, I used to live quite high up, and looking out on my balcony in the evening, on many an occasion, I saw the night sky looking exactly like this. Sometimes it would also be red, but usually orange.
I will just let you know, this is not a picture of Windwhistle Hill. This is just a picture to demonstrate a strange orange glow in the sky.
Very, very strange. Never seen that before in my life. That looks like Windwhistle Hill in the background.
Windwhistle Hill. Yeah.
Memories came flooding back.
Memories.
Mrs. Walker recalls that the object was cigar-shaped and looked to be between 200 to 300 foot in length.
That's pretty big.
And says that the object didn't move, but just sat there in the sky.
Like a Calippo. The Calippo King.
Now, how would you describe a Calippo in shape and colour?
I would say that it is an orange cigar-shaped tube
Could she have seen a giant Calippo in the sky? No, but I wish she did.
Do giant Calippos exist? Can't say they don't.
Only the king.
Do you know what's frustrating about Calippos?
Is it that they don't do them anymore? You can't
No,
find them? Or
they do. Yeah, I love them. It's just hard to eat one and make eye contact with people because you really got to sort of chow down on that thing and you got to let it sort of work around your mouth to melt.
I think as an adult, it is a lot harder to eat a Calippo nowadays. But I think back when the obsession with Calippos was in, you didn't struggle at all.
Well, I didn't. I love to gobble on a Calippo. As I said, they're lovely. They're one of my favourite ice creams. Technically, they're not ice cream, though, but they come under the ice cream category.
That they do.
When you go to a shop. Love Calippos.
Best ice cream out there has to be a Solero.
No, I prefer Calippos to Solero, personally. Well, in that case, I prefer mint choc chip or cookie ice cream on a cone from a fancy shop. Yeah.
Fancy.
Give me 3 scoops.
Bougie little bitch.
But it'll break the cone. I don't care. Hit me. Hit me.
Something else that
Do you want a Calippo? Sometimes. I don't know if they're there at the moment, but regularly still get them to this day. Because I like Calippos.
Same with Soleros.
I eat them by myself.
I think I went and bought 18 Soleros the other day.
And ate them in one go. Gobble,
wish.
gobble. That's quite an excessive amount of Solero.
2 at a time.
Were you feeling very hot?
No.
Just really needed a
Have
hit
them
of
for
Solero.
Just stick them in a bowl and let them melt.
I don't really do desserts,
Neither do I, but a Solero.
but we give dessert to our daughter quite regularly. So as she ages and starts eating more of what we eat, I wonder if dessert's going to come in. Because I've never really been a big dessert eater. I love ice cream, but outside of that,
Mine will have to be like apple and rhubarb crumble or
yeah, I'm just not into
chocolate brownie.
crumble,
Other than that,
pie, brownie. None
I-
of that is for me. I'd rather have a starter or like a nice drink, a rum or a coffee or something.
Yeah, I can attest to that because whenever we all go out for something to eat,
Mm-hmm.
all you little bitches don't get anything,
Well, that's mainly me saying no thank you, I'll have a drink.
making me look like the fat one for ordering a starter, main, and dessert.
And double sides.
Yeah.
To be fair, we've got a creepy friend, who orders
I was
more.
about to tell you which one, and then
You know which one.
I know which one.
Who orders more food than anyone, and he's the skinniest of all of us.
Yeah.
He will, like, if you order a second bowl of chips or something, he'll order the exact same thing because you have, and he'll eat it all, and he won't even struggle, yet he's tiny. Tummy's rumbling now.
Talking about food, I'm hungry. Anyway, let's get back to this Calippo.
Sorry, I derailed that quite significantly for no real purpose.
Something else that Mrs. Walker noticed was that in the pub across the street, there was no reflection of light at all from this phenomenon. Nothing at all. Pitch black in all the windows except one. Within one window, a faint glow of orange was visible. And that is a picture of the pub that was opposite.
The Windwhistle Inn. That looks like an old-timey pub where if you walk in the pub, everyone's going to stop. The music stops. Everyone puts their drinks
Yeah.
down and their head just turns to look at you.
New person.
You don't belong here. I don't like you. It's, if you've ever seen a traditional British pub, it is basically that, a village pub. It doesn't look modern. It's basically a large cottage with a pub sign. It's not to be a poo-pooer, because I want to go along with this, but it's not unusual to only see a reflection in one window or two windows. When I'm out and about, I regularly see that depending on what is on the other side of the window. Like if someone's got their curtains drawn and they're dark curtains, you don't tend to see much of a reflection. But then if they've got, or is it the other way around, something light behind there or the windows are open, you can't always see through them, that kind of thing.
It's very abnormal.
Okay, the photo we're looking at of this Windwhistle pub.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom window, the curtains are open. You can see through it. You can see a light in there. The window above it, there is a reflection in the top right of that window that you can't see in the bottom one or any other one.
You're also looking at this in daylight. This was at night.
Sir?
With a strange orange glow in the sky, which should be reflecting off of windows.
I will look at this whenever the hell I want to look at this little bitch. Completely uncalled for.
Funny nonetheless.
Orange glow. So outside of the natural, what could that be? Is that
a UFO?
Well, I'm just trying to think if
So what you meant to say was within the natural.
No.
So
I meant exactly what I said. I'm trying to think of paranormal, or not paranormal. Well, am I or not? Would an aeroplane or a satellite create an orange
kind
glow?
of man-made that's not nature.
Yeah, I guess. Because obviously we've got the Clippo tube, 300 foot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, have you ever seen the night sky between day and night where there's a bunch of clouds and they look like they're exploding, like it's the start of that scene in Independence Day when the alien spaceship breaks through?
No.
Okay, I've seen that a few times as well. And then it just clears up. Why are you smiling?
Have you seen aliens?
No. It's just something that can happen in the sky, a natural phenomena. Like a phenomena.
Can't be that natural if I've never seen it.
You rarely go out for strolls and whatnot.
Go out for strolls all the time.
Do you?
Yep.
Do you?
Yep.
From your car to the gym?
Yep. No, but I do know what you're on about. Yes, I have seen it.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Could have been something like that, because that does look... You're
No,
like, what the hell is going on there?
No, it couldn't. That's very obvious what that is. There's no way you get that confused with a cigar-shaped, Calippo-sized...
Calippo-sized. Tiny. Do you know what? That would probably convince me more, potentially. I think we've discussed a few times, why would aliens need to be of our kind of proportions and use things of our sizes?
That
Why?
Massive, yeah.
It's far more efficient to travel
that
through
little mosquito
space-time with
takes
exactly that.
your
Yeah,
blood.
like microscopic. Aliens could already be here, just they're so tiny we can't detect them. That would make far more sense from an energy standpoint. Little Clippo, I'm in.
Mrs. Walker, no relation, was starting to panic and urged Mr. Walker, not me, to put his foot down and get the fuck out of there. He did exactly as his wife asked and put his foot down, attempting to leave the strange glow and craft behind them. Mrs. Walker would notice that as they sped away, a light was heading towards them. The light in turn was nothing sinister, it just turned out to be a cyclist. But they were about to become victims of something darker.
How do you know the cyclist wasn't sinister?
As soon as they arrived home, Mrs. Walker went inside and checked the clock. And she was shocked as the clock read 10:50 p.m.
No.
The time from Windwhistle Hill should have taken around 15 minutes, and that's 15 minutes without speeding. She didn't mention it to her husband as he didn't seem too overly bothered by it.
Typical guy, didn't care.
Several days later, though, Mrs. Walker and her family made the same return journey. As they were coming up to the same hill, in approximately the same location as they'd seen the glowing object hovering near the roadside to their left several nights earlier, they could see a person laying down while another person stood over them. True crime. Maybe. The couple's first thought was that someone had been injured and that they required assistance, so they slowed down. But no sooner had they done so when the standing figure appeared in front of them in the middle of the road. From out of nowhere! Mrs. Walker, no relation, describes that this figure was abnormally tall with legs that were horrendously long and thin. Reacting to the strange figure's sudden movements, Mr. Husband, Mr. Walker, not me, negotiated around the large leg, increasing their speed and then heading off into the distance.
How big was the leg?
By the time they arrived home, the Walkers, as well as their 2 children, agreed that they had seen something that was clearly not human. There was nothing in the local paper or anything on the local news regarding an incident or sighting within the area. The incident remained forgotten until the mid-1990s.
Okay. How big was this leg that they had to maneuver around it?
10 foot tall! It was like a tree, but thin. Like a stick man.
If it's just a leg, I'm guessing the person must have been, what?
In the middle of the road.
20 foot? Well, I'm just saying, like, how tall was this
I suppose,
thing?
yeah, the car swerved the leg.
They swerved
didn't
the
they?
leg, not the whole thing. So that means it's going to be, the leg must be taller than the car. So most cars are sort of between 5'8", 5'9", maybe, and sort of 6 foot range.
Do you reckon it was a
That's
case
just a leg.
of,
They might not have even gone past the knee.
as they drove up, the person looked quite small, like they were further away than they initially thought.
Yeah.
And as they started to slow down, they just appeared in front of them and they were like 20 foot tall. Or do you think that
Or if it
person
had,
went from being, let's say, 6 foot to 15 foot in an instant?
so they said the figure appeared.
Yeah.
So with legs that big, it could have just hopped from like behind the road and into the road, looking like it appeared. Because
Or taken one step.
Yeah. If it's that big, I'm thinking, is it things like War of the Worlds when there's massive things?
Oh, the like Walker.
Yeah, that
things.
kind of size, like a Star Wars 8080, whatever they're called.
Where they
AT-ST.
noticed
No,
that the
80.
bird sitting on top of it. And like, that's how we did it.
Yeah, something absolute, because they described it as abnormally tall with legs that were horrendously long and thin. What makes it horrendous? Is it the fact that it's so giant that it could step on them?
Yeah.
Like pure horror.
You mentioned War of the Worlds. It's a great film. I'll watch that this weekend.
You're not going to, are you?
I'm
You're
like,
absolutely not going to.
my partner is at work all weekend, which means I don't have to do partner things. And I can do me things, like watch horror films and stuff. I watched It the other day.
Original or new?
New. The one we saw at the cinema.
Hello, Georgie.
And I was like, oh, it's such a good film. And then she walked in and she was like, what the hell are you watching? And it was a scene where the hair comes out of the sink and then grabs her face.
Yeah, yeah.
And then all the blood started to like.
Has she seen it before herself?
No.
Ah.
She literally went, what are you watching? And I went, It. And then she kind of went upstairs and then came back down and she was like, this is definitely not a me film. And I was like, it's definitely not a you film. And she
Should we
went
watch
back
it from the
outside
start?
to read her book in the garden and enjoy the sunshine
Fair enough.
whilst I stayed indoors because sunshine. 20 years later, Mrs. Walker, no relation, and her husband, not me, had split and she had remarried.
Ooh.
Her sons were
Saucy.
now in their mid-20s. And one evening, all 3 of them were together and they began discussing that strange evening in September 1977. As they began to recall the events, the boys would remember more than what they thought had transpired in September 1977.
Regressed memories.
Yep. The eldest of the boys recalled his mother telling his father to put his foot down, but says that rather than simply speeding off, when he did so, the engine died and the headlights went out.
Uh-oh.
Slapped.
Mm-hmm.
He then continued that he could recall his father repeatedly attempting to get the engine to start, but it refused to do so, leading to his father starting to panic somewhat. Slapped.
They've definitely been slabbed.
He recalled everything appeared as though it happened in slow motion, while he could also sense a deep humming vibration, slow and rhythmic. His dad suddenly lunged to the passenger side of the car. Trying to get to the door. However, he didn't understand why. And he claimed that there was no recollection of his mother being in the passenger seat, and that all memory of her had gone. He could see his dad beating his fists onto the dashboard, although he couldn't hear any sound. Slapped.
This is all kinds of messed up.
Jeff recalled turning to check that his younger brother was okay. Rather than looking scared, he was looking out of the window of the car, seemingly excited by what was taking place. Something that Jeff couldn't understand. As his attention turned back to his dad, Jeff could see that he was pointing in his direction. It took him a moment to realise that he wasn't pointing at him, but rather something behind him, and he could see out the back window. What he saw was the look on his father's face, and that was of someone scared shitless.
As the dad in that situation, would you really point at it? Because that's going to draw your kids' attention to it and they're going to look.
I don't know. And the reason I say I don't know is because I don't know how terrified he was at that moment, and whether he was pointing at it to almost get his son to duck down in a weird way, or literally fear took over and you just start pointing at stuff that's there.
What comes to my mind is my partner is scared of spiders. Big spiders, not little ones. We're at that time of year.
That's completely understandable.
We're at the time of year when giant house spiders come into the house.
Yes,
mating season.
Because that happened to me last night.
Yeah, I have to get them regularly.
I didn't.
You ran away.
My partner did.
She not scared of them?
No. I sat on the sofa and I just went, spider. And she looked and she was like, that one's going to need a hoover.
Oh, she got a hoover. Oh, maybe she's a little scared then, because I get them.
This was
I've barehanded a few of them.
So brave.
It's not that I like them. I definitely don't like them. But my partner, when the babe is around, she tries not to react to things like that so that she doesn't learn to be scared of things. And whether how scary does it have to be to the point that you can't do that?
I get that. But here's my argument to that. If I act so nonchalant about a spider that my kid picks a big spider up and goes, look, and then flings it at me. Sorry, kid, but you're getting punched in the face. Reactions and survival mode are coming in.
You ain't my child anymore. You're a threat.
So, we'll see about that when the time comes.
So this abduction scene, it seems like something out of a horror film where it's all sort of jittery. It's coming in and out of memory. So it's like skipping backward and forward. I'm imagining it's nighttime, rain is hammering down, that kind of thing. And the mum is just not there, Mrs. Walker. She's just gone. So she's being slapped as this is going down.
Potentially.
And the kids are looking out the window amazed at what they're seeing.
Only one.
Wow. Oh, don't worry about mum. Wow.
Might not have a recollection that he has a mother.
Oh, that's what they meant.
Yeah.
I thought it meant recollection as to what happened to Mum.
No.
She's just suddenly not in the car. Don't have Mum.
Yeah.
That's a weird power to possess. Okay.
Like, all memory of her is gone.
Yeah, that's just bizarre.
Why he was unsure of why his dad darted over to the passenger side.
Mm-hmm. That's weird too, but obviously they're telling us about this in the future when Mum has come back, so they've obviously returned memory of Mum. Why would you take away memory of Mum completely existing? Because Dad is still freaking out. You've not stopped the situation there, have you? Really bizarre. Okay.
Jeff heard his brother telling him to look out of the window, to which he was now pointing. His actions and voice looked and sounded as if they had been slowed down. Jeff turned his attention to his brother and father, who was pointing. He could see something behind the car, something that almost paralyzed him with fear. In fact, he was so terrified that he put his head down against the back seat. Although he didn't understand why or how, in the same way he couldn't remember his mother being in the passenger seat, he suddenly had no memory of Tony, his little brother, being beside him. At this stage, he recalled that his perception at that time of the incident was that it was only him and his father in the car. So it would seem that every time they take someone from the car,
they're just gone from reality.
From the memory, yeah.
Ooh, I might have just stumbled on a theory.
Okay. You want to go through that now, or do you want me to just finish this bit?
You can finish yourself.
Even though he had his hands over his face, he suddenly could see an intense white light through his fingers. Instinctively, he removed his hands from his eyes, noticing that there was light both inside and outside the car, and it was almost as if he was inside the light.
Uh-oh.
The next thing he knew,
Pennywise.
his last memory of the encounter, is that he could see a dark shape standing outside the car, close to the window. Although he couldn't see it clearly, he did say that this figure was very tall and bending towards the window, looking in.
Oh, damn.
He further noticed that the figure looked human, but he knew it wasn't. Then his memory seemingly zipped forward.
So, what if these creatures, rather than being aliens from another planet, etc., they're actually from another reality? They're in like the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th dimension, and when they take something into their dimension, it ceases to exist in ours, and so all recollection of that person ceases, and then when they enter back into our reality, they are in existence once again.
Would that happen?
Oh, I've got no idea.
I'm just thinking, would that happen to everybody that you know, or just everyone in the vicinity of like that little bubble?
Maybe it's some sort of rule of quantum mechanics, like things at the smallest level.
Like Spider-Man.
Every single tiny little trace of them is gone. Therefore, there's no entanglement of the particles of memory that remember them.
Is this where they got the theory for Doctor Strange taking away the memory of Spider-Man from everyone?
Maybe.
Someone's just made an alien story from that theory. The next Jeff realised the car was moving and he could see the headlights of the cyclist heading towards them. In fact, he recalled that he said to no one other than to himself, "Where is he coming from?" By the time they'd got home, all he could recall was seeing the strange orange glow, the cigar-shaped object, and a strange humming sound. Everything else returned to him in fragments as the years went by. Jeff also recalled that in the days to follow, several of his school friends were eagerly talking about the strange UFO sightings at Windwhistle Hill. He also stated to his mother that he recalled there was a total of 5 figures outside their vehicle, and that it was his feeling that all 4 of them were taken, and that when the figure looked at him, it was his turn. It was shortly after these remarkable recollections that Mrs. Walker made the decision to report the encounter to UFO investigators. According to her report, she stated that she found it incredible thinking about it now, all these years later, that they could have dismissed it so casually at the time. We just never discussed it, and life went on as usual. Gloria Heather Dixon, the UFO investigator, noted that around the same time as Mrs. Walker made her report, an article on the sighting appeared in the Yeovil Weekly News, which resulted in several members of the public reporting their own strange encounters. In 1991, for example, someone only known as Witness A was with their husband and grandchild, and they saw a tall, strange figure staring at them through their farmhouse window. Several days later, they witnessed a saucer-shaped object hovering nearby, and another local resident, Witness B, reported an almost identical encounter to the former Mrs. Walker that happened to her mother and father in 1975. A lorry driver, Witness C, claimed to have also had an encounter at Windwhistle Hill in 1976 or 77, and he claimed that as he approached the hill, his lorry suddenly appeared as though someone or something was controlling it. This continued for around 100 yards before whatever force had seized his vehicle relinquished its hold.
So none of these witnesses are named.
No.
We don't have any details of them, other than that a UFO investigator has said there are other witnesses.
Yes.
Did the UFO investigator write a book on these?
Possibly.
And this made its way around local news?
Maybe.
Were there any photos or evidence as to Mrs. Walker existing?
I'm going to admit I did not look up photos of Mrs. Walker.
I mean, a photo could be faked anyway, so it doesn't tell us much. I'm just trying to grasp if there's any evidence of anyone actually speaking to the witnesses firsthand. And my second trail of thought was going to be around asking if there's any military sites in the area to rule out the usual suspects.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
So to summarise, we have the case of the Walkers, no relation. A family who witnessed a strange orange glow on their way home, which turned out to be a cigar-shaped craft. Mrs. Walker pissed herself and told her husband to put his foot down. As they got home, it was a bit later than it should have been, and they took the trip a few days later and were greeted by a person laying down with another standing over them. Before the Walkers knew it, that same figure standing over the body was in front of them in the middle of the road. This figure was huge. They drove around it and sped off. For the next few days, they looked out for local news, but there was none. 20 years later, the Walkers had split, and the former Mrs. Walker and her sons were together and spoke about that night. The eldest son spoke about what he experienced, and that was clearly different than what was remembered in September 1977. They didn't just speed off. The car stopped, engine died. It couldn't be started. Their mother was taken, but they had no recollection of her. And one by one, they were all taken before being put back in the car and speeding off. Slabbed. After this conversation, the former Mrs. Walker contacted UFO investigators. The UFO investigator mentions how it was in newspapers, how others had encountered something strange in that same area in different moments throughout time. So, Greybeard Do you believe that this was an extraterrestrial encounter? Or bullshit?
Do you know what? This one was kind of believable the whole way through. It didn't. There's no suggestion that any of the witnesses are money grabbing, sensationalizing a story about themselves. They've not gone massively out there public seeking to further their own ends, make any gain from it, so to speak. And we don't have the full picture as to what happened. They don't remember what happened when they weren't in the car. It's all bitty. So that feels quite realistic, I think, I guess. It feels convincing.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't exist. That is the problem for me. I'm not convinced that the people themselves in this encounter were real people. It feels like a UFO investigator came up with this and or that locals contacted the news to get a story out there for giggles, or maybe a journalist made them up. There's no tangible evidence to grasp onto.
So I have a similar theory.
Mm-hmm.
However, mine is that to potentially just put something in the paper, the newspaper just printed random stories of UFOs.
They've got pages to fill.
Like where hearsay, this person saw this in this year or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they just done like a mini column. And then they've just used that mini column to add to a story that was made up to make it seem more legit because these other ones were in the paper. Because we also heard how there was nothing in the local news, nothing in the local paper at the time. But at the school, all these kids were talking about this thing. I'm pretty sure adults would have seen it too. So for me, I don't believe that this story is real. Like, not aliens. I don't believe these people exist.
Yeah, nothing about this one is real whatsoever.
And to start off, when they mentioned a strange orange glow in the sky at around 9:30 in September, I was just like, sunset.
Yeah, saw one of those literally 2 days ago.
Yeah. So you see orange in the sky all the bloody time. Yeah, not aliens.
Nope, I am not saying that it was aliens.
Thank you for joining us for this week's probe. You can find us on Instagram at But It Was Aliens, Facebook at But It Was Aliens, and we also have our Facebook group, Extraterrestrial Towers. We are also on the Twitter at But It Was Aliens and Patreon.com/But It Was Aliens. There you will find side probes, the spin-off of But It Was Aliens, where we probe ghosts, ghouls, hauntings, pirates, Rasputin's dick, pegging princes, and much more.
Was there more than one pegging prince?
Maybe.
Check out next month's episode.
#.